Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing another video in my series of pros and cons, or what I like and don't like about living in the Dominican Republic. Today's episode is going to be about shipping. So we're talking about the pros and cons of shopping online, and then mainly the part where you have to get the items shipped or delivered here. I'm going to do another video in this series on a wider view of shopping habits and consumerism. So stay tuned for that one, subscribe so you don't miss it, and I'm going to try really hard not to get into it here. First, I made an entire video about getting items shipped to the DR, how that works. So if you haven't watched that, I'll put it right here. Then you can know exactly how it works getting items shipped to the Dominican Republic. But you should know it's just not as simple as it is in the US, which is the first con. Unfortunately, I'm not starting with the pro this time like I did in the last video. I won't be going over all the details in this video, but do know that you have to first register with a courier company, then you get an address in Florida, then your item is shipped there. So thankfully, almost anything that can be shipped to the US can be shipped here. So that is one major pro. You can get about anything shipped. So even if a site says they don't ship internationally, you can probably get a delivery because it's going to be delivered in Florida. The only exception that I've noticed is for me when I was using Curology, they somehow detected that it was a courier system, like a PO box that was going to ship somewhere else, and so they didn't let me ship there. So I would just have to get those when I visited home. Anyways, that was the only thing that I really noticed a problem with. Also Target, I tried placing an order a couple times, but it never was able to go through. That is one pro, that you can get anything shipped here basically because it is shipped to an address in the US. Anyways, back to explaining the essentials of the courier system. You get an address in Florida. Once you register with this company, then they take it from Florida, they fly it over here to the Dominican Republic, and then they take it from the airport to their office, and you try to pick an office, what's the word in English? A branch that is closest to you. So I had one when I lived over on the other side of the city, kind of, and here I just use my husband's. He goes and gets it when we're notified that it has been delivered. So you just follow even more of the tracking process. I know people like to watch when their packages are delivered. So you can watch, oh, now it's on the plane, now it's at the airport, now it's getting closer to the office. So you can still watch the tracking process there. That was one pro, because in Honduras, they didn't have the courier system, so you could get things delivered, but I still had to pay for them. And the office was really antiquated. There was literally a huge burlap sack of mail piled up in the back, and they would make a note in a physical notebook of what packages arrived for whom, and you would just see them flipping through this notebook looking for your package, and it's in this sloppy cursive. So that's one thing I do appreciate about here. It's more organized. You can see the tracking from place to place. I know in Honduras there was times that my family was like, I sent a letter, did you get it? And I was like, no. I mean, it's happened here too. The letters you can't really depend on, so that's another con. But you can depend on packages getting here. That's a major con, that it takes much longer to get something. But it's also, in a way, a pro because, and again, I'm going to try to hold off on this and get to it in the next video, but one con of having that access to same-day shipping or two-day shipping or just really fast shipping times in the US is it just increases consumerism and just buying more things and more things because you keep getting that dopamine hit from buying things and then getting it delivered. Anyways, I'm holding off. I'm not doing that now. But basically, here you learn patience. You learn, okay, if I need to order something, I might as well, for example, if I'm ordering off of Amazon, order various things at once, or if I'm going to order from another place, order them close to the same time so I can go pick them up together. So it does help you sort of consolidate in your mind when you are going to order something and plan ahead more than I feel like a lot of people do with shopping online in the US. Another con is that you do have to pay again when the package is here. You pay £4 of the package. That's a big pro, honestly, that it makes me think twice before ordering something. I rarely make impulse purchases here because I know it's not going to get to me anytime close to when I first thought about buying it. So I plan out my purchases more and I think about them for longer periods of time, which also is just kind of something I've been more in the habit of doing lately, I think. But I don't know, I do feel like it has influenced that and made me more like that. It really depends on your perspective, because for me, spending less money, buying less junk is always a good thing. So I view that as a pro. But I know for a lot of Americans, it might be hard to get used to not being able to order things online all the time. So that is something to consider. And the last con, I feel like I've just been listing con after con, But there were the pros. Like I mentioned, it makes you think twice. You do think about your purchases more, you consolidate them, which is always good. But another con is that if you make a purchase of anything with a total of over 200 US dollars, you will get a lot of taxes imposed on that, and you have to pay more fees than it would be if you were just paying per weight for normal packages under $200. If you're trying to consolidate, keep that in mind, because I know on Amazon it could probably be easy for anyone to fill up their cart with a bunch of things and have that pass the $200 limit. And it's not a limit, like you can still get it delivered, but there are more fees, you have to pay more taxes. I've avoided that at all costs. And yeah, it's another thing to consider if you need something like a new phone or a new computer. You can't get that delivered unless you are willing to pay twice the original amount, because you'll have to pay so much in taxes. That's just due to different laws. When you think about when you're on the airplane, you come over, they ask how much money and what's the value of things if it passes a certain value. So it's similar to that, in that sort of realm of the law that I don't exactly understand fully. That's today's video. Again, I'm trying to keep these short, and those are the pros and cons, or things I like and don't like about living in the Dominican Republic, more specifically about getting items shipped here. Again, if you want to watch a video that explains how to get items shipped here, I will link that below. Other than that, that's the end of today's video, so subscribe, make sure you don't miss the next video, which will talk more about shopping habits. And have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. You should try to avoid purchasing anything with a total of 100. You should try to avoid purchases with a. What is this like beeping thing? It's always beeping in my ear. I'm going to wait until it finishes. Okay. So another con is that any purchases with a total of $200 or more, oh my word, like, I hope you guys can't hear that, but you probably can, so I'm just gonna stop. Okay. So another con is that if you purchase